Hey everybody, it's Jimmy from the DIY and Digital, and today we're doing a DIY version of Sculptamold. Welcome back everybody. First of all, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any updates like this scenery material tutorial video. So a lot of us have a lot of different preferences on modeling materials. One that I personally absolutely love is Sculptamold. The problem is that when you get into a bigger layout, it does tend to get a little bit expensive. Now, the reason that it's expensive is because a lot of research and a lot of time has been taken into making what Sculptamold is, and it is an absolutely fantastic material. But I thought to myself, I wonder if I can make a DIY alternative to Sculptamold, and I had a few stipulations. One, I didn't need to use any power tools or any sort of long-term process. I wanted it to be a really quick process. And two, I wanted it to be cheap. So the supplies that you're going to need for this are very, very, very simple. You're going to need some plaster of Paris, some toilet paper, and some water. And you're also probably going to want a bucket of some kind to mix all this stuff in. And this is a little bit of a warning. It's a messy tutorial. So let's get started. The first supply I'm going to be using is plaster of Paris, and when I buy this stuff, I like to buy the 25-pound bags of it. I'll also need some toilet paper. This particular set of rolls I got on my last dollar store model railroad finds. I'll put a link up here. So the first thing I'm going to do is just start shredding the toilet paper by hand. The cheaper the toilet paper, the easier it is going to be to do this. It's also really good if you have a bucket for this. I then reach in the bucket and rip it apart even more. I want to get the pieces as small as possible. I then add the plaster of Paris, going for about a 50-50 mix. And then I start to put water in the mixture. I want to go until there's just a little bit of puddling. I then take my stir stick and start mixing the entire bucket up. You're really going for a consistency kind of like cottage cheese when you do this. So just keep on stirring until the water is mixed in evenly and you get that cottage cheese texture. This is the area of the layout that we're going to be working on. And the first thing that I'm going to do is protect any sensitive areas like my block signal points, and I'm going to be covering them with plastic and putting a little barrier down. Now we take the bucket of the DIY Sculptamold and we start pouring it on. Notice how it spatters a bit, and that's why we like to protect the area. Now you can use gloves or you can use some other tool. I really like to use my hands when I'm moving Sculptamold or any sort of modeling material around. It's very, very messy. You're going to get your hands extremely dirty, but it also gives you a lot of control over where all of the material is going. Once I've spread that amount out, I pour a little bit more on there. Remember, you're going to get about 10 to 15 minutes of working time depending on your mixture, just like regular Sculptamold. And I continue to smooth everything over. You can do several different types of texturing. You can do rough texturing, you can do smooth texturing. That's one reason that I really like Sculptamold. It's very, very flexible in the way that you use it. And it's kind of like spreading icing. Kind of a mix of spreading icing and putting cottage cheese on something. It's that kind of texture. It will stay in place when you move it. It's just a really great modeling material. I get the last little bit out and begin the final part of covering this mountain with the DIY Sculptamold. And there's our entire area all covered up and dried out. I've done a lot of different textures within this area, so let's take a look at them. On the main mountain, I did a very, very rough texture. Now I'm going to be covering this a lot with trees, but there you go. And then on the smaller areas, I did a smoother texture because I'm going to be doing a lot more rock faces. So there's my DIY Sculptamold alternative. So that is my quick and easy DIY down and dirty alternative to Sculptamold. I really hope that you enjoyed it, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any updates like this scenery materials tutorial. And I'd also love to know if you guys have any DIY versions of commercially available materials. Let's go ahead and get some sharing going on. Until next time, I'm Jimmy from the DIY and Digital. Happy railroading!